So hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today in this video, we will be talking about 3 tips that can help you to get good scores in your IELTS test. You will be like, just 3, isn't that a small number? Indeed, that is a small number. But believe me, this is all you need to get a good IELTS score. So without much ado, let's just get into our video. So our first tip is know your examination. This is the first order of business. Before you start preparing for your exam, you must know what are you supposed to do in this test. What are the expectations that you are supposed to fulfill? Then you have to start preparing for it, right? So your IELTS examination, your IELTS test is having 2 modules. So most of you guys must be going to an English speaking country either to pursue your studies or for an employment. In both of these cases, you have to take IELTS academic. So you have to figure this out early on, whether you are supposed to take IELTS academic or IELTS general studies. Basically, IELTS is having 2 modules. So your first order of business is figuring out which examination, which test you are supposed to take. So once you figure out which module you are supposed to take, you have to plan your studies accordingly, because basically these 2 modules differ each other. But both these are having common sections. Both IELTS academic and general studies, they have 4 sections, namely reading, writing, speaking and listening, in which IELTS reading, writing and listening will be taken on the same day. But IELTS speaking will be conducted on a separate date. So that first you have to make a booking for your IELTS examination. So you will get a date and later on you will get your date for your speaking test. It may be prior to your other sections or maybe after your sections. That may differ. So your first task, the first step was to know your examination. So your second tip is time management. IELTS is a time-bound test. That means you have stipulated time for each of your sections. You're supposed to take or finish all your tasks in a stipulated amount of time. So that makes it imperative that you should learn to manage your time. All right. Your IELTS writing is having 60 minutes time. You will be having 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. Task 1 is basically an infographic in which you are just supposed to write or describe whatever is in that picture. You're not supposed to write a lot. You're not supposed to put any of your opinions in that. So that task is considerably easy and you can finish that early. You get 20 minutes for that and 40 minutes for your essay, that is task 2. So your task is try to finish the first one, task 1, which is comparatively easy, in maybe like 15 minutes, so that you will get additional time for your harder task, your task 2. In your task 2, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to write an essay. You have to have an introduction, conclusion and body paragraphs in which you have to write your ideas in an orderly manner. So that needs significant amount of planning, as well as you have to stick on to a lot of tasks, like you have to stick on to your grammar, punctuation, this, that and all in an orderly fashion. So you need more time to do that. So try to finish your task 1 little early so that you can get more time for your task 2. In your IELTS reading also, you will get 60 minutes. In that 60 minutes, you have to read 3 long passages. So in this 3 long passage as well, the first one is comparatively easier, second one is little more tough, and the third one is the toughest. So what you can do, you can just finish off the earlier easier passage early so that you can devote and divert your time to the harder ones. And if you are finding difficulty in finding answer to a particular question, so don't waste your time over there. Just move ahead, go to the other questions, finish all the questions, then you can come back later on to the question which you were having difficulty. So in this way, if you're not getting answer to that particular question, you will be wrong only in that question. But if you're wasting too much time over there, then you will not be getting time to attend to the other questions, which probably you will be getting answers to. So don't unnecessarily waste your time on the questions that you may not be able to get answer at first time. Probably if you're leaving that, going to the other questions and then coming back again with a fresh mind, probably you'll be able to get an answer to that. So please don't waste your time in that way. Also in IELTS reading, you will not be getting any additional time to copy your answer from the question paper to your answer sheet. So you have to manage your time to finish everything, reading, finding answers to the questions, as well as copying that to your answer sheet. You have to manage all that in the stipulated 60 minutes of time. That makes it little bit hard. Okay, you get 30 minutes. In IELTS listening, you get 30 minutes and you also get additional time to copy your answers to the answer sheet. Okay, so after each session, you will get time to copy your answer to the answer sheet. But you have to practice well. You have to constantly listening, particularly to the English speakers, so that you can catch an accent fast. But the flow over here is like, you won't be, there is no possibility for you to listen to that again. Once that conversation or the particular voice is done, there is no option for you to go back and listen to that again. So you have to have focus and concentration over here so that you can catch all the answers. Okay. So the third and the final tip is practice, practice, and practice. As you know, there is no shortcut to success. So you have to devote your time each and every day for practicing your IELTS reading, writing, listening, and speaking, depending upon your level of English proficiency. If you think like you are bad in English speaking, writing, or something, give particular attention to that. Improve on them. If you're weak in writing, do practice your writing. If you're weak in listening, listen to English as much as you can. So particularly depending on your weaknesses, you can focus on your areas. You can keep on strengthening your goals as well. And for my friends who are good in English, who can handle English, please don't think that you don't need to practice because you know English. Yes, it is basically an English speaking English test, but the thing being, there will be particular criteria or particular parameters in which you will be gauged. So if you are not accustomed what are those parameters, which criteria you are being assessed, then you will not be able to cater to that. That will significantly affect your IELTS score. So please don't be in this misconception like I know English so I can clear this test. You also need to practice. Probably you will not have to put in a lot of effort, but still you have to put effort. Then only you will get good scores in your IELTS examination. IELTS speaking and IELTS writing are the most dreaded sections of the four. They are notorious for their low scores. So particular attention early on should be given to this session to improve your writing skills, to improve your speaking skills. And also these skills you can't acquire overnight. You need to give due time for you to improve all these skills. For your IELTS writing, you have to learn IELTS keywords which your examiner is looking for in your answers. And also you have to study a lot of linking words. You have to study a lot of vocabulary, especially for here, as you're not supposed to repeat your words in IELTS examination. And also you have to learn your grammar, your punctuation, everything for IELTS writing. So you have to start from the very patch and it takes time. For IELTS speaking, it is best that you can get a speaking buddy with whom you can talk and probably he or she can correct you. That is a good way to improve your IELTS speaking skills. And one more thing is like you have to get the questions, the frequently asked questions or questions that generally asked in the IELTS examination, and you can practice on that. The tip is like, basically they may be asking about what kind of cuisine you like, what kind of sports that you play, this, that, and all. So try, because you are supposed to speak 5 minutes. So if you're not preparing well on, then it will not be possible for you to beat around the bush for that long. So you have to practice your set answers for these kind of common questions. Okay. So the internet is replete with IELTS reading materials. So please do make use of them. You can read them, practice them as much as you like. and they come with an answer key, so that makes it easier for you to assess your performance. So please do practice your reading with those resources. Okay? IELTS listening, you can take up a new hobby. You can take watching some of the Netflix series which you have interest in, and you can watch 1 hour probably every day, and that will significantly improve your listening skills, as well as you can get a lot of vocabulary, lot of new words you will hear from there. What you can do is like you can jot them down. Later on, you can find meaning, again write them in a book or something, and when you're speaking, intentionally use those words, and this way that will become part of your vocabulary. All right, so this was all about the 3 tips that can help you score good in your IELTS examination. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. If that has been the case, please do like and subscribe to this channel. I'll be back with more such videos which will help you in your IELTS examination.